So with that, we officially, yes, the meeting is being live streamed. Hopefully everyone is okay with that. And with that, I'd like to hand over for playing a song, Say No, from Mogul Media, I believe.
No for a bad touch, say no for child marriage, say no for the menstrual discrimination, say no for a bad touch, say no for child marriage, say no for the menstrual discrimination. You can say we are human, you can say we are equal, you can say we are pure, you can say we are a critter. Say no for a bad child, say no for child marriage, say no for the menstrual discrimination. You deserve dignified menstruation at home, at school, at workplace, and everywhere. Say no for a bad child, say no for child marriage, say no for the menstrual discrimination. Dignified menstruation is for all, born with ovaries. It is throughout our life. It is for the planet. It is our human rights. Say no for a bad child. Say no for child marriage. Say no for the menstrual discrimination. Say no for a bad child. Say no for child marriage. Say no for the menstrual discrimination.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely song that we just heard. Moving on, I'd like to invite Deepak Dhungelji from AHF. He's the Regional Advocacy and Marketing Manager for Asia Bureau, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Nepal, in order to read the press meet for today's event.
Thank you very much, Aktiji. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, because since we are having participants from around the world, and you all are welcome. And simply, Aktiji already talked about my role as of now, and I would like to read out the assigned task. And thank you, Radhaji, for this assignment. Yes, news advisory, joint hybrid press conference on 4th International Dignified Menstruation Day that we are going to commemorate on December 8, 2022. Kathmandu, Nepal, November 25th, 2022 is today. To commemorate the 4th International Dignified Menstruation Day during the Global South Coalition for during the 16th day of activism against gender-based violence that starts through from 25 through December 10. The Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, in brief, we call it GSCDM, the other Purdue Foundation, RPF, in partnership with AIDS Healthcare Foundation, in short AHF, will hold a hybrid today's event press conference on Thursday, and we will commemorate on December 8th. GSCDM, RPF, and AHF urge all government, UN agencies, and stakeholders to commemorate this day and promote dignified menstruation for all who menstruate globally. This year, nearly 60 countries worldwide will celebrate the 4th IDM Day under the theme Dignified Menstruation for Ending Child Marriage. In Nepal, government agencies, stakeholders, and academia in all 7 provinces will commemorate IDM Day by conducting various programs focused on dignified menstruation. More than 2,200 participants were expected from around the world to attend the joint hybrid press conference, where the Loretta Wang from AHF, Mon Sri Ka From AHF Cambodia, Julian Ilie Palmario Tombali. From AHF Philippines, Anani Rodriguez from Mexico. Brigade from Uganda, Jami Kigiani from Uganda, Union Roko by Kamara and Titi, Mamatani Santos from Sierra Leone will be speaking at the event. And sorry for if I spelled out wrongly the names. And Miss Radha Paudel, as expert on dignified menstruation, will share the urgency of dignified menstruation to end gender-based violence. And GSCDM RPF will also use the press conference to announce the winners of the global video competition and Nepal's media call. In addition, dedicated campaigns will be honored with a certificate. And this is all about what, when, where, and who. It's about 4th International Dignified Menstruation Day press conference with the participation of women, girls, advocates, policy level people, and the partners, donor representative from the Global South for joint advocacy on dignified menstruation. When the event will be organized on Thursday, December 8, 2022 at 10:30. And where? Kathmandu, Nepal. It's from Mogul Media, though this is a hybrid. And who will be engaged in it? GSTDM and its members from more than 50 countries around the world. And Radha Paudel Foundation, which is the secretariat for GSTDM and AHF. Similarly, on the 4th IDM Day, Sri Lanka chapter of GSCDM will conduct a virtual conference under various thematic areas such as dignified menstruation, menstrual hygiene, taxation, waste management, education, physical resources, climate justice, dignified menstruation and law, menstrual discrimination, economic development, and political participation. Leaders and activists will also present papers based on these themes. Likewise, the Africa chapter of GSCDM will be marking the 4th IDM Day for the first time in the region with the activities like an engaging media house, advocate for dignified menstruation at hospitals, schools, and community level. And here is some statements from various people, which includes policy level figures and activists, and that includes the message from Terry Ford, she is the Chief of Global Advocacy and Policy at AIDS Healthcare Foundation. She said, AHF is committed to supporting people who menstruate globally and ending period poverty through our advocacy efforts in all countries where we work, through our menstrual health initiatives and empowerment programs like AHF's Girls Act. We are proud to support International Dignified Menstruation Day, which is vital for ending stigma surrounding menstruation and helping everyone who menstruates reach their full potential. And likewise, Dr. Saras Chim, who is the Asia Bureau Chief of AIDS Healthcare Foundation, representing all male also, I guess. And he said AHF actively works towards changing harmful social norms around periods while educating communities about better menstrual health practices. We highlight menstrual health every year and advocate to end the stigma on menstruation. And last but not the least, here is the statement from Ms. Radha Paudel, who is the founder of Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation. She said, to say no to child marriage, say no to menstrual discrimination. It is a missing driver for child marriage globally. It's high time to initiate dialogue on dignified menstruation. And here is some details about Radha Paudel Foundation, Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, and AHF. You can find all these agencies in the website and also in the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Deepakji. Just to clarify, will the press release also be available on the website? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing, great. Moving on, we now have remarks on the International Hybrid Conference that is going to be organized in Sri Lanka. And for that, we have Shakti Sri Dev Puraji, who is the representative from Viluthu, Sri Lanka. Over to you, Shakti. You're on mute at the moment. Yes.
Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. I'm Shakti, and I'll be representing Vilidu Sri Lanka. I function as the research coordinator consultant for this organization. So I think much of the background information was also already given by Mr. Dunjal about the rationale for this initiative. Let me quickly introduce Vilidu before I go into a lengthy explanation of what the conference is about. So Vilidu started in 2003 under our founder, Ms. Santi Sachitanandam, and is headed by Maitraj Singh, barrister at law, who is also the chairperson of the BEAS Network, which is a network of social organizations in South Asia. We particularly deal with war-affected women in the north and south of our island. And also we are quite interested in gender equality, sexual and reproductive health, youth mobilization, for them to take part in policy making, policy decision initiatives. We also delve into health and education initiatives as well. And we conduct a range of capacity building initiatives for these youth, women and girl childs in our target areas. Moving on to our partnership with the Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, we actually partnered with them in 2019, and this initiative was headed by our head of programs, Ms. Indu Hariharathamorthan. She's unfortunately not here today. Since 2019, we have been able to, sort of activate our networks and start sort of work related to the Dignified Menstruation Initiative in 17 out of the 25 districts in our island. And we've had a lot of dialogue and awareness building regarding this as well. When it comes to the conference, it's actually this time we partnered with the Global South Coalition for a full one-day international hybrid conference. And this will include the likes of policymakers, state officials, practitioners, researchers, and menstruators, our own women and youth from our communities who will attend this one-day organized conference. We have also partnered with the International Disability Alliance, who sort of gracefully helped us with a lot of making this conference more accessible to everyone through providing closed captioning and other Zoom sort of facilities. This conference will see the participation of a range of international speakers from South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, who will explore the nexus between child marriages and dignified menstruation as well. We would also see the speeches from a keynote speaker and a chief guest who will be prominent either policymakers or researchers or activists internationally or from our island as well. Going into specifics about the conference itself, it would be divided into 3 sessions with 4 speakers who will be given 20 minutes to speak, and it will be followed by a Q&A section, which would also be for 20 minutes for each session. And here we would, like Mr. Dunjal said, we would look at climate justice, LGBTQ rights, menstruation during pandemics. I think that has become quite relevant in recent times, and also the role of CSOs and academics. And we will also try to sort of identify, information regards to waste disposal and use this platform to build awareness amongst the participants as well. When talking about the direct objectives of the conference, we would try to sort of acknowledge the direct link between menstruation and child marriages, and also explore future action and sort of initiate some sort of discourse on what should be done. And also sort of we could also look at the associated phenomena in related to gender and health. And also one part of this conference would also look at establishing international best practices. So we'd like to see inputs from our international participants during in those sessions to sort of see what is done around the world to sort of address this issue as well. I think the key driver behind this is to sort of, I think it's something that GSCDM and also WILD has contributed to, is to sort of establish dignified menstruation and eliminating this menstrual discrimination as a global priority. And I think a lot of information would come out through our conference in this regard as well. And we hope that it will sort of propel this discussion further. So apart from the conference, Vilu itself in Sri Lanka would also organize on the day of the conference, and also throughout the month, we would have school level awareness programs, capacity building programs, and also quite a bit of youth activities. And one important aspect of this is it would just not include menstruators or women and girl childs. We would also sort of reach out to men and boys to sort of create awareness as well. Because as you know, there's quite a bit of stigma and taboo that the patriarchy imposes on this issue. So we would like to reach out to them and clear some areas regarding that as well. And apart from that, there'll be a lot of capacity building initiatives we would do in partnership with our universities and also research organizations that we do the works with. I would like to finish my remarks by inviting everyone. We would share the Zoom links, the invitations and the consent notes in due course. And also you are free to contact GSCDM and Vididu if you require further information as well. So I hope I see everyone on the 8th to take part in the conference, to take part in the discussions and to explore this initiative even more. And going beyond somewhere down the line, we would also have a post-conference publication reflecting on the conference. And actually, one part of this conference to collect 2,000 word papers from our session speakers, which will be compiled as well. I think that will be a good resource sort of point for a lot of our work in the future, and sort of set our path towards sort of accepting our objectives and achieving them as well. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shakti. Moving on, it's amazing that we're on time. Moving on, I'd like to invite Ken Williams, and to speak about him, he's also the steering committee member of Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation and country director for African Network for Prevention and Protection Against Child Abuse and Neglect from Malawi. And Ken Williams, can you hear me?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ken William. I'm the country director for African Network for Protection and Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect Malawi chapter. It's an organization which is registered in Africa. We're operating in 34 countries. The project that African Malawi chapter have been doing is called Think Future, Keeping Girls in School, which we have been learning for almost, I can say 20 years now. But during our operation, we discovered that a number of girls drop out of school because of the issue to do with mainstreaming. Once they do that, and sometimes it happens when they're in the class, and the rest of the kids, sometimes they boo them. And once they're booed, for them to get back to school becomes a problem. So we started talking about it till 2021. The government also started discussing about it. And fortunately, 2022, the Malawi government, through its parliament, passed a bill to remove the VAT on pads, which to us was a milestone. And I can openly here speak that we thank the President, Lazarus Chakwera, for assenting to the bill removing the VAT on pads. That to us has shown and has improved the girls' enrollment in a number of schools. On that juncture, we are now taking another step, trying to campaign for the whole Africa. And we want to take this campaign up to African Union, that most African countries should also remove the VAT, not only removing the VAT on pads, but start distributing free pad in schools, in hospitals, in community, because it's to do with mainstreaming is a health issue. And if you look at the World Health Organization, there was shortly an issue of coronavirus. When the coronavirus came in, there were researchers doing research until they discovered the vaccine, which was given to people freely. Not only that, we are also looking at HIV and AIDS. Most of these drugs, let's say ARV, are offered on free by the World Health Organization. So we are saying the issue to do with pads should also be taken as a health issue and be distributed freely. And this campaign, we wanted to carry out throughout Africa, through our governments, so that when they go next time to African Union, this issue should be put on the agenda. And the other thing, would like also to thank the founder of the Dignified Menstruation Padel for coming up with this issue. This is a very, very, very important issue for women globally. Padel, thank you very much. Please keep it up. And I also would like to encourage my fellow coordinators, steering committee, that let us take it up. Let us fight up to the end so that we see that globally the issue to do with pads is free in all hospitals. I think on this juncture, I'll end up there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken. Moving on, we now would like to move on to the question answer session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat function or feel free to send the questions to us in our private DMs. Are there any questions that have been laid out in Facebook, Swapnaji?
Is it time for questions?
Yeah.
Not yet, but if there will be any, I will write in a chat box.
Sure, sure. Ken, we are taking questions now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to share those questions yourself as well.
Yes, I have a question. Not necessarily a question, but sometimes just to be updated. The Dignified is a very, very important issue. Why is it that the World Health Organization and any other international organization like UNICEF, of course, UNICEF does support girls and boys in schools. They don't come up with some kind of financial support to support this very important initiative, which is now taking shape globally. I just wanted to know that.
Do we have any UNICEF representatives here? Someone who can speak? I doubt so, but I think maybe Radhaji has some insights into that.
What about the World Health Organization?
Good question, good question. We all have those questions, I guess.
Thank you so much, Ken, for raising the voice. Actually, the dignified menstruation or menstrual dignity is ultimate achieving the overarching goal of gender equality, and it should be the priority for everyone, because we are working for the sustainable development goals. No one leave behind, and the more than 50% of the population planets are leaving behind because of the menstruation, and we especially the UN Donor Secretary are not acknowledge the gravity of gravity and impact of the menstrual discrimination. So we keep continuing our lobby and advocacy, and hope in future they will join with us. And we have already started the petition to UN General Secretary, CEDA Committee Chair, and we also keep speaking, lobbying and advocating at the global networks like Men Engagement Alliance global networks, what Oaks for prevention of GBV. So we are trying to our best, but still we are living on hope, and one day they will join. That's it.
We hope that kind of answers your query, Ken. We have another question from Kamala ji. Why not 28th May to promote dignified menstruation together with Menstrual Hygiene Management Day? What was the purpose for us deciding that it would be 8th December?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we wish every moment would be the dignified menstruation moment, because we cannot imagine the place where there is no menstruators. This is our fact. And regarding the May 28th is an International Menstrual Hygiene Day, and which is the one important element for the dignified menstruation day. If the persons have the quality product or toilet or water supply, clean environment, even that case, the menstruators cannot feel or cannot live with a dignified condition. And that is why we need the dignified menstruation day, one reason. The second reason, 16 days activism is all about the gender-based violence. And menstrual discrimination is a form of sexual and gender-based violence, and it plays a vital role as a cause and effect for the various forms of sexual and gender-based violence, including child marriage, HIV. That is why it is very, very important to commemorate during the 16 days activism. And third reason, the menstrual discrimination is a violation of the human right. And the December month is considered the Human Rights Month. That is why it is very, very important to mark in the 8th December. To us, dignified means the umbrella, and then the dignified the menstrual hygiene day is a one element. This is very clear, and Global South Coalition is celebrating every moment's local, regional, and global opportunities, days, and the festivals. And we also celebrate the May, not only the May 28th, the whole May month is a menstrual month. So I encourage you all, those who are working around the menstrual hygiene or menstrual management or menstrual health, they all are can celebrate the dignified menstrual day. There should not be the competition, the blaming to each other. If we work together, as even highlighted, unite the activism, we can make this more safe, more equal, and more justful. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhaji. Kamalaji seems to be satisfied with the answer that you've given. Is there any other question that anyone has? If not, I guess we could start moving on towards the closing remarks. If not, we could start moving towards the closing remarks. And for that, I'd like to invite Radha Paudanji herself, who has already spoken quite a bit, and I think that name is very familiar to everyone here. So Radhaji, would you please go ahead and give the closing remarks?
Thank you again. Dear friends, it's from AIDS Foundation, steering committee members, and national coordinators of Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, Executive Committee and members of Dignified Menstruation Campaign Nepal, media and all participants who are joining here and online from all around the globe. Namaste, Salam Alaikum, good morning, good evening, good afternoon and good evening. All protocol observed. On behalf of AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Global Coalition, let's give a big applause to you all. We unite over 56 countries for ending violence against women and girls. On behalf of AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Global South Coalition, I would extend our sincere thanks and to each of you for your graceful presence and commitment for amplify the voice of dignified menstruation for ending the violence against women and girls with all diversities and in all settings. Here, I would like to remember our leaders within all diversities who fought relentlessly against the violence and created such safe space for all of us. However, the space is not enough as we deserve. 2 days before, I was watching the UN's official commemoration 16 days activism held in New York. I was moved with the data of family violence or intimate partner violence. In 2021, 45,000 women were killed by their intimate partners. From here, I challenge to UN such death partially because of you. Because we never ever consider menstrual discrimination as violence, which is mostly invisible, complex, multifaceted, and considered private business. We, including UN, academia, donors, every actor who are working for ending violence against girls, women, trans men, and queer, we all must transform ourselves at first. Menstrual discrimination, which is mostly invisible and takes place in private sphere, is not only violence, but also cause and effect for many visible and invisible violence globally. If we would start to talk or dialogue about dignified menstruation now, I repeat, now, we can prevent many forms of sexual and gender-based violence everywhere, including HIV or gender pay gaps. We can smash the patriarchy and we can build gender equal society. I gently remind to each of you not to repeat the mistakes. Since I started to speak, 28 girls get married already globally. Who is responsible for it? Who will reflect the impact of our decades of activism? As we deserve the dignified menstruation, we are responsible for take action for it too. Let's mark the 8th December 4th International Dignified Menstruation with joy and pride. Again, I would like to thank each of you, AIDS Healthcare Foundation family of Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, Dignified Menstruation Campaign Nepal, and special thanks to Ken, Sakti, Mogul Media, Deepak, Loretta, Jean, Swapna, Lal, Sharmila, and Akirti. Let's unite now and forever for dignified menstruation. By this note, I close this press conference and looking forward to seeing you all on the 8th December dignified menstruation. I thank you.
Thank you, Radhaji. With that, we've come to the end of this press meet. And as Radhaji said, hopefully we'll see everyone on December 8th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.